the Radio Xenu. I want to thank Pip and the crew for allowing us to do our thing today. We have a cavalcade of craziness today in this studio. We have my cousin Tylen, who has just become the co-host for today. She has brought the boyfriend of the moment. We'll get introduced to him later. We also have my lovely, talented, and hardworking girlfriend Brittany, who apparently is lopsided in the chest area. We always like to try to get that out there. I feel like when I'm with her, I'm sleeping with two different women, but I try to figure out why does both of them just have one boob? Then we've got Sammy with us today, who goes places and just consumes information, and then she spits it out at random times. Our musical guest a little bit later is Mr. Brody Baker, who is tuning, as they say. I don't know who's saying it, don't know why they're saying it, but dollars to donuts, and let's hope Jay Marie brought the donuts. We'll get it going. Jay Marie is with us today, and of course, is it DJ 3000 or is it Beats? 300, there it is. 3000's a black guy from Wichita. I get them confused. Not because they're both black, but one that okay. I'm pretty much a racist at this point. Now, we've got... there it is. And on the telephone, to help me celebrate our victory today, the comedian James Davis. How are you, James?
What's up, fellas?
Well, today is quite the day. Ed Till, that rat bastard, Ed Till this week got he got a lot of problems thrown his way within the span of 7 days. For the people that don't know who Ed Till is a really, really bad radio talk show host who I helped kind of get his career rejuvenated by getting him on Talk Radio X. And then I helped him get a few things going. I helped him get on this website, this micro-marketing site called Fiverr. And he made thousands of dollars on this site. And I helped him get hooked up with this network called the Starcom Radio Network, which we found out later was run by a child molester who didn't have any listeners. And so... now Ed has run his mouth on a lot of people, including our guest on the telephone, Mr. James. Ed at one time wished cancer on my mother, which is absolutely deplorable. But we have a thing on the Sunday radio program, and James knows this well as being a former co-host of this show. We have an open door policy, which means that anyone can show up at any time and do anything. Well, Ed wished on the air for an Ed Till fan of some sort to come in and kill me while I was live on the air. He prayed on that on his show several times. I didn't know he was a religious, but apparently he wished death upon me, which is awesome because, James, as you know, most people just wish death upon me behind my back. But with this whole thing, James was a victim of Ed Till. He, during the election special we did a couple years ago, what the hell did he say to you? I remember it was quite vicious.
He did the same thing, wished cancer upon me and everybody else. I mean, it's a bit that's played out.
Oh, yeah.
Ed's a piece of shit.
Yes,
the
yes,
fact
he
is that he's a hack, you know.
Yeah.
He's got, I don't know what kind of following he has.
Not much of one.
I'm tell you
at this point.
You're one of the hardest working guys in this business. I mean, you work
sir.
ass off for pennies. But it'll pay off, you know, and
yeah.
you give back to the community, and you'll go do something to help somebody else.
Yep.
And I firmly believe over the past couple of years I've learned that if you want to get something in life, you got to be willing to help other people get something.
That's right.
And Ed is the type of guy that will never help anyone unless it directly benefits him, and that's my disdain for Ed Till. Is that, it's one thing to not give back or to not help people, but it's a totally different thing to just be an asshole. And the guy, literally,
yes.
If you Google douchebag and Ed Till doesn't come up, then I'm disappointed in the internet.
This is awesome. We've got the great comedian James Davis with us today, and James, another thing that's happened with Ed is that, and this was the big spiral this week, he was He's on this micro-marketing site called Fiverr. He basically is scamming people out of radio ads. He'll say, oh yeah, I'm going to record this radio ad. And he'll sit in his studio and he'll record an ad, and then he'll act like it gets broadcast. And then I tune into his show, and he's got no ads running, and he's taking people's money. Well, this week, or maybe it was last week, that's kind of how this whole ball got rolling. He ends up booking a guest on his show, and before he does this, he's got the guest on the phone. They're on hold, and he's got this publisher who has paid for the interview listening to the interview because he's like, I want to hear my client on the air. He spends 20 minutes before. I'll have to send you this clip so you can see him just be unhinged. He spends 20 minutes talking about how he's going to hunt this publisher down and cut his head off and put it on a stick and take it to the Talkers Convention in New York City and present it to Sean Hannity, of all people. And I'm like, why are you dragging poor Sean Hannity into all of this? And so all of a sudden, he's got all these things. Well, then the publisher files a death threat on Ed Till. And then problem also that Ed...
Wait.
Okay, go.
What do you mean by file the death threat?
Well, he got a hold of the local police department in Ed Till's town of Satellite Beach, Florida. Okay, yes.
I got that.
And
I just want to make sure I didn't know you could file a death threat. I'm like, shit, I'll go down and I got a couple people I'd like to file on.
That's awesome. We're gonna go do that. We got to do that tomorrow. It's 4th of July week. Everybody's got the week off, it seems. We got to get to the courthouse, baby.
Exactly.
So, but then, okay. No. We had that, and then what ended up happening after they had that whole thing take place, he then gets a hold of Fiverr, which is where Ed makes a lot of his money selling these fake radio ads, and he complains to Fiverr. Well, Fiverr pulls the account because they're like, oh, we don't want anything to do with this. We'll do an investigation. Well, a couple days later, and I didn't know this was going on. This was all just kind of a perfect storm. 2 days later, I have an interview on the daily radio program with the marketing director of Fiverr to talk about something else. They're having a contest or something they're running. Well, why this was going on, I had gotten a Fiverr order from this publisher who wanted me to run this 2-minute ad about Ed Till threatening his life and all these things. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll run his ad. Well, I decided this would be funny. I'll run it during the marketing director from Fiverr so he can hear it. Well, the guy mentions in the ad that Ed Till and this publisher had met on Fiverr and that Ed had threatened all these things towards him. Well, as soon as I get off the phone with the marketing director, we get done with the interview. The marketing director calls me back and he's like, hey, can you get me a copy of that interview? I'm like, yeah, I guess. And then I did the radio show. I got busy. I didn't email him back. So then the next day, somebody in Fiverr.
If we could touch on that for a second, Jim.
Yes, go. Yeah, jump in there.
You're terrible about returning phone calls. I don't know if
Thank
it's
you.
big crime or what. You're terrible about it.
Everyone in the room is looking at me and shaking their head.
They should. You're terrible about it.
I'm terrible about that. Well, I get a call the next day from an executive from Fiverr, and she's like, our marketing director was on your show yesterday, and we would really like a copy of that interview. And I said, well, it's on our website, and I told her how to get it. And she's like, no, we need an MP3 copy emailed to us from you. And I said, okay. And she goes, the reason we're doing this is because something about Ed Till got brought up on your show, and we had an investigation we were doing, and we just didn't think it was that big of a deal, and we were going to close it and reinstate him. But after we heard that he made a death threat towards someone, we're going to reopen that case. And so then I find out later he's been booted from this website. So that was really the only thing keeping him going, was doing these fake radio ads and scamming people. And so now he's got like nothing going. Talk Radio X has dumped him. The guy who the guy who sold him the Starcom radio network that doesn't have any listeners, that guy wants nothing to do with him. He's like, I don't want to have anything to do with Ed. In fact, he is going to be on our show, I think on the Daily Show next Monday to talk to us about the fact that I doesn't want to have anything to do with Ed. And he wants to set the record straight. He's like, I got to come on your show. And it was just all about it. But because you and I have kind of had this little battle with Ed over the years, I had to get you on today so we could take our victory lap.
Right. And I'm running mine with the rainbow flag and marching over the Confederate flag.
That's right. There you go. It's been a banner week in Kansas. We've got, and when you really think about it, you had the Confederate flag go down. You had the gay marriage is legal now, and then you've got. Let's see, Obamacare's legal. Sam Brownback tried to take money away from teachers, and the Supreme Court of Kansas said, I don't think so. And
not only did they say you can't do that, they say give them some more.
Exactly. So it's been a banner week, and then now we have our Ed Till thing. So it's been absolutely perfect, sir. I'm just flat out amazed. I'm amazed, my friend.
The folks over at Westboro Baptist Church are probably flipping their shit this weekend.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are, James.
So, what's Ed Till doing then?
I don't know. I'm waiting to. He wasn't on the air on Friday. He ran a pre-recorded show, so I'm waiting to see what he does. And once he shows back up and I'm sure spits some venom, I will. I've made sure to get him a copy of the show that I did on Thursday where I talked about all this. Then I am going to get him a copy of this today because I know a couple different people that talk to him and also talk to me, and I'm going to make sure he gets a copy of this show. So I'm sure at some point there'll be some venom.
What is Ed's claim? Ed's claim to fame is that he was on Howard Stern once or something.
Yes, yeah, some sort of deal where he worked in New York a couple times and he was on Stern. Yeah, there's a video somewhere, and I did some searching on Ed Till on YouTube just to see what I could find. There is a former board op who worked for him and Neil Bortz, and he talks about, he has this like 30-minute video where he talks about he had a real good time working for Neil Bortz, and then there's this other part in there where he's like, I worked for Ed Till, and he yelled at me for 3 hours, and oh my God, and threatened my life, and all this crap.
Yeah, I remember I saw that.
Yes.
The thing is, what I've learned is no matter what level you are in radio or comedy or film, you can't treat people like shit. Even if they're a nobody, you've got to treat everybody like they're somebody.
Treat them
because that'll get you a lot further than treating people like they're shit. And Ed has made his own bed. I wish him nothing but failures. But he keeps putting his foot in his fucking mouth.
Yes.
I don't know if I can cuss on.
You just did. Don't worry about it. Well, the stations that don't like it, they'll dump out. Keep going, James.
I feel like Ed needs to. The one thing Ed needs to do is, if he's going to try to resurrect any type of career, he needs to make amends with people, and that will go a lot further than that whole bit of acting like you hate everybody and being the rebel. That's over. I mean, that's 1993 kind of stuff.
Yes.
It's not that way anymore. He has enough enough background in entertainment that he could develop some pretty decent relationships. And he's got to be like 105. He have a lot of time left on him.
105. That's awesome.
The dude has been on the radio for how long, and he's still a nobody.
Oh yeah, he's still a nobody, and his big claim to fame is he got fired by every station in the country.
Right. And if you, God forbid, Jiggy, if something happened to you tomorrow, you'd be known as the guy who started concerts for the cause. And
yes.
That's more than just about anybody I know can say.
Yep.
And that's a big deal.
Oh, yeah. It's a hell.
That's not what you want your legacy to be. Maybe you want to be the radio guy or whatever. But
I don't mind at all being known for concerts for a cause.
Like you're giving, something great is going to happen for you, and just keep doing your grind. But
yes,
guys like Ed Till, he doesn't have it in his it's not in his capacity to do something like that.
Yes,
he's bitter. He's a bitter old man.
Very bitter. Well,
He's probably sitting at home today listening to Dreamweaver, putting on makeup in front of a mirror while he's crying in the news.
oh, James Davis,
I'll never have anything good to say about
we're
that.
gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to do this more often. This has been fun today. 20 minutes
You know
after the
I'm right.
hour. Oh, I know you're right. I know you're right, baby. 20 minutes after the hour. It's comedian James Davis. It's myself talking about the rise. Or I shouldn't say the rise. I should just say the fall and continued fall of Ed Till. And, I appreciate it, my friend. I'll let you get back to your Sunday, and I'll talk to you soon, my friend.
All right, man. Thanks for the time. I'll talk to you later.
Definitely, man. Talk to you soon. James Davis with us today. We're going to do this. We're going to take a quick little time out.